If you've ever wondered why your melodies suck, you've come to the right place. I'm gonna walk you through every single thing that I notice producers doing that ends up making them have shitty melodies. I'll see a lot of producers lay down some really basic and simple harmonies. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's so many things you could do to make it better. And even just the progression, a lot of people don't really think of the progression. They don't think about how things are going between each other. So what you want is you want to have chords that sound cohesive and they actually sound good with each other. Let me pitch this down. So to make this more cohesive, I want to bring my chord notes a bit closer together. And just kind of move these around to whatever sounds best. Now that I have this little basic 4-bar pattern, I want to sprinkle in a little bit more pizzazz. And if you really want to take your chords to that next level, you want to introduce some dissonance in your harmony. It's going to build up some tension. And you want to resolve that tension at the end. And then even just sprinkling in some non-chord notes up there just to make the chords more complex. And we kind of just started with those little simple triads and we ended up here. Now I'm going to pitch this down. One thing I notice a ton of people doing with their chords is they don't add any depth to their harmony. And all you need to do for that is just layer the bass notes. Just throw in some bass notes. So you gotta give your chords some kind of rhythm, some kind of flavor, like get a bounce going. This is kind of like where I like to sprinkle in some filler notes because I kind of get some form of rhythm and I want to add to it. And once you have your rhythm, you want to keep in mind the structure. And what I mean by that is you want to repeat that same rhythmic structure. So I'm just going to go through and make the rhythm match up with what I have. It's a simple rhythm, but we build on that. And just rinse and repeat. Let me change the sound too, because this is a doo-doo sound. Yuck. Now the structure doesn't end there. You can make a top line or like a counter melody or whatever you want to make. So we've got this 2-bar pattern. This is all we really need for our melodic structure. Because what you want to do from here is just copy it over. And then you can start thinking of your melodies in sections. So you'll have like an A section. You can repeat that again. And because the harmony underneath it changes, it doesn't sound the same. So it'll sound refreshing and new. And then since we've already repeated that section once, we can go to the B section and we can start mixing things up. And as you're laying down your melody, as you're putting things down, you want to think of the energy to it. Because as notes get higher pitched, it feels a little bit more energetic. And you can even start sprinkling in some different notes with one of the sections, just adding to the rhythm a little bit. There's something you can do that's really cool on piano. It has no other purpose really, like you can do it on other instruments if you want. But what you want to do is you see this note right here. Put like a note on the next scale note right below it, and then offset that note ever so slightly. It'll create a cool sound. I see a lot of producers struggling to add things to their melodies. Once they've got a main melody down, they don't really know where to go with it. And what I like to preach is, if you don't know what to do next, always think about what you have and add to that. That sounds like the most useless information, but what I mean is I have bass notes, but I don't have enough bass. That was really corny. Even still, if you don't know what to add in after that, you can add in things like ear candy.
Why you wanna know? Boy, bye, bye. Why you why?
That's kind of clean. It's kind of like a cheat code, but you can throw in these crazy little melodic phrases here and there. So I got a little bit of room here. We could just, I don't know, do a little something. I'll just play the melody.